Hi everyone, Mr. Arab Spring here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a review of the new Rae Sremmurd record, Sremmlife 2. Rae Sremmurd. They're not just the final words that you say when you succumb to the stroke that leaves you paralyzed from the waist down and financially ruins your family. They're also a popular Atlanta rap duo who just dropped their second full-length LP. Now, originally, I didn't take the duo all that seriously when they broke with huge singles like No Type and No Flex Zone, songs that I thought were no good. These singles, of course, led up to a pretty underwhelming album off this LP. I was getting some serious Crisscross vibes, who, I may add, were also based in Atlanta when they were popular, and were similarly marketed at the same, hey, these guys are really young, but they're really popular and mainstream sort of angle. I thought these guys would be like done in a year, but they're back. I mean, the industry hasn't chewed them up and spit them out already. So morbid curiosity got the best of me. I decided to give this record a shot, and I was honestly surprised. Surprised to hear that these guys were putting together some legitimately catchy pop rap with loads of production from Mr. Mike Will Made It. Now, I'm not saying this record's a classic. I'm not saying it's reinventing the wheel. I'm not saying this is a smart album, although, you know, it doesn't matter what I say. I'm sure there's going to be a comment down there saying, hey, you rated this higher than blank face? To boil it down, this record is turn-up shit, which, in theory, I don't dislike. I think there's plenty of crappy turn-up music out there that just absolutely sucks. But this is some turn-up shit I can get down with. Even though there are not deep lyrics on this thing and really conceptual themes running throughout the album, what I can commend Sremmlife 2 on is that there are plenty of very energetic and charismatic vocal performances all over this thing. The vocals come off a little less annoying this time around, even though they are still kind of high-pitched and shouty and yelpy. Still, though, the energy that goes into those shouts, I think, is infectious a great deal of the time, especially on tracks like Shake It Fast, ooh, Shake It Fast, which features a hilariously graphic verse from Mr. Juicy J himself. I love the banging bass on this track, the click-clack percussion. It is a strip club anthem. The duo also does well over a DJ Mustard beat on the song Set the Roof, which features a little bit of help from Lil Jon himself. I remember back in college, I loved the shit out of that Kings of Crunk album. I was blasting that thing everywhere all day. I probably looked like a total loser, and I guess I still do, but whatever, fuck it. Still, with this, that track was a little bit of a throwback, and that was nice, as the shouty, multi-track gang vocals have a lot of energy. The groove, of course, is funky. It has that trademark little boop, 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 little DJ Mustard bass line. And with the opening track on this thing, this album is a non-stop party. It is a party that just does not let up. It's throwing bottles everywhere, it's flipping the furniture over, it's climbing up the walls. Even the low-key tracks with deep nocturnal trap instrumentals are pretty engaging, like on the song Real Chill with Kodak Black, which I think could have used a better chorus, or By Chance, which I think has one of the better choruses on the entire record, 100 Bands in the Lamb. Do you have one by chance? And the tracks that feature Sway Lee doing these lead vocals, which I didn't really care for on the last record, sound eerie and kind of lonely here. There's a weird sadness to them that I think is kind of appealing. His little boy voice sounds so chilly amongst the smooth, glossy synthesizers and spacey trap percussion, like on the song Look Alive, or the song Black Beatles with Gucci Mane, which I think has one of the most captivating choruses on the entire record, which is a song essentially about blowing money fast because you're not planning on living too long. I think there's references to like falling in love with strippers on this thing, money raining slowly through the air. It's a dreamy, seductive track. So, again, completely surprised to hear that nearly everything up until this point I had been really enjoying. I'd been enjoying myself listening to this record. It's a fun album. If you hate everything on this record, you might not like fun. I'm sorry. I just find this record entertaining. But at the last third, this album turns into almost a complete bore. The duo starts incorporating tracks that are total throwaways, or take the album down a few emotional detours that are nowhere near as fulfilling as everything they had been doing up until this point. Namely, the song Do Yoga. Total throwaway track, no idea how it made the cut on the just normal version of the record, especially since the bonus tracks on the deluxe version are all way better than this song. There's a terrible lyric on this track about coming on two girls, which was on the song Came a Long Way. The duo tries to turn their success story into a sob story, and I don't know, it's just not really all that captivating, especially since the allusions to their struggle and their come up just seem really vague and generic. There's no real captivating specific details to kind of pull the listener in and make them interested in the background of Rae Sremmurd. The song Now That I Know is a really lackluster attempt at throwing an R&B jam into the record about relationship troubles. I think this could have easily been one of the better pop rap records of the year, but again, the duo just does not pull through on the last third. Things go south pretty quickly, almost immediately after the halfway point of the record. But again, up until that point, a majority of the cuts on this album are fun to listen to. It's an entertaining record. Don't go into this thing expecting anything huge, anything ambitious. It just features a lot of tight, well-crafted bangers with some funny, silly, over-the-top lyrics that are all just written and delivered for a thrill. And I would love to hear these guys continue bringing that vibe into the future. And maybe if they decide to go down a more emotional route with some other tracks in the latter half of their next record, hopefully they go into a bit more detail or have potentially gained the life experience needed in order to make that kind of angle appealing or captivating. I'm feeling a decent to strong 6 on Sremmlife 2. Transition. Have you given this album a listen? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? You're the best. You're the best. What should I review next? Hit the like if you like. Please subscribe. And please don't cry if you're pissed off about my thoughts on this record because you thought I was too positive about it or I was too harsh on it. You know, you're always going to piss somebody off, but whatever. Rae Sremmurd, Sremmlife 2, forever.